This is question 34. Okay, let's start off looking at this question. Question says that Tiana asked girls in her class, how long is your journey to school? Okay, and she uses the results to work out this information. So she gets the shortest time, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the longest time. And then it says, on the grid, draw a box plot of the information to show this information. If we go back to this, I have the lowest value, the highest value, the median, the lower quartile, the upper quartile. I have all five elements of a box plot. Let's pay close attention to the scale before we start drawing the box plot though, right? One of the things I always encourage people to do is to look at the scale and put in some markers. So I know that that is 10. I know that's 15. Okay, I would go so far as just to put in tiny markers at all of them so you're totally clear. In the actual exam, the graph would be very, very much clearer. You'd know exactly where each of the values are and you'll be able to read them off very carefully. But between 10 and 15, there are 10 tiny squares. 10 to 15 is 5 units. So every 2 squares is going to stand for 1 unit. Right? So if I put those markers in there and we just count them, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So use that scale as you work through. The first point is 18. 18 is going to be 2 units under 20, so that's 19. And 18 should be there. Yep, there it is. Then 25. 25 is straightforward enough. Actually, I went to 29, the median. That's 2 less than, sorry, 1 unit less than 30, 2 squares. The next one I went for was the median. The median is 25, straightforward enough. Okay, then we've got the upper quartile. Upper quartile is 33. Now, if I think 35, 34, 33, there it is. And then finally, the largest value, there's 45. Got 2 tiny squares under that, which is 1 unit. So there's my 44. Draw the 5 lines first. Do check them. Use a ruler and a pencil. Always use a pencil, so if you make a mistake, you can rub it off. Now, put the box together. Draw the whiskers out. There's your box plot. That's 2 easy marks. Make sure you do always get this and show it a certain degree of care, and you'll guarantee success. Part B of the question says, compare the distributions of girls' times and boys' times. This is a very, very common question. It's a set piece, and you should be able to get full marks in this always. I suggest comparing the medians, right, and the ranges. You could compare the interquartile ranges as well, right, but just do 2 comparisons. There are 2 marks for this, so just do 2 comparisons, okay, and that's what's usually in the mark scheme. So I'm going to label up the box plots because the first one is girls. The second one, the box plot below, shows information in minutes of some boys, right, took to get to school. So I'm going to label that boys so I don't get confused about what I'm talking about. Let's find the median of the first one. We were given it already. It's 29. In the second one, the scale is identical, so I have to be incredibly careful with this. There's the median for boys. If that's 25, that value there is 26. So the median for boys is going to be 25.5. 25.5. Okay. Let's look at the ranges. The ranges for girls. So the girls' largest value is 44. Their smallest value is 18. 44 take away 18, 26. Take your time with the subtraction. For boys, their largest value, that there is going to be, that's just 1 square after 35, so it's going to be 35.5. This one here, that's 15, that's 16. It's just 1 square along there, so that's going to be 16.5. So 35.5, take away 16.5. Take your time with that, that's 19. Now I need to do my comparisons. Okay, I'm going to compare the medians. The median for girls is 29. The median for boys is 25.5. So it's clear that the median time that girls took to get to school was more than the median times the boys took to come to school. And that's what I'm going to put. The girls' median time, 29 minutes, is more than the boys' median time, which is 25.5 minutes. Show the information. Show the information, the numbers in your explanation. And that's just a comparison. Use the phrases more than, less than, greater than, or so on. Right? But in this case, the girls' median time is more than the boys' median time. Now let's do the same for ranges. The girls' range was 26. The boys' range was 19. So the girls' range was bigger than the boys' range. So the girls' range time is more than the boys' range time. Put the numbers in. The mark schemes recently have asked for the numbers, so I just put them in brackets in the explanation. They actually help you as well to make sure that you've said the correct phrase, more than or less than or whatever, right? Do make sure you put it in. Those are an easy 2 marks. Do the workings there, right, and write out the sentences. You all are pretty good at that. Let's look at part C. 60 boys took part in the survey, so there were 60 people all together. How many boys took less than 19 minutes? Okay, that should have said minutes. Okay, scrub that, to get to school. All right, so let's think about this. Now, this box plot is going to get a bit busy here. The lowest term is 0%, right? 0% took less than the lowest term. The quartiles split this thing up into quarters, and the median is the halfway value. So think about that in percentages. The lower quartile is the first 25%. The median is the first 50%, half the set of values. The upper quartile is the first 75%, and the highest value, everybody's less than that. That's 100% of the values. We know there's 60 boys took part, so 100% is 60. 75% is 3/4 of that. 50% is half of that, 30, and 25% is 1/4 of that, 15. How many boys took less than 19 minutes? So if I look on the box and whisker diagram, the box plot, that there is 19. 19 is 25%, so 25% of people took less than 19 minutes. What's 25% of 60? 25% of 60 is 15, so 15 boys took less than 19 minutes. Okay, that last part is a bit tricky, but once you understand it, you should really be familiar with it. These percentages are always attached to the lowest, the lower quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and the highest value. So you can always put these markers on. The number that they give you in the question would relate to one of these 5 values. It's very unlikely to be 0, but it will be one of these 5 values. Okay, so do look out for that. Make sure you can do it, and you are able to get all the marks in a question like this.